Hello students, in this video we will be doing the revision of English literature. Now first of all, let me inform you that we have come to the third term of this particular session, and as we are moving on to the third term, now we have completed almost everything in English literature language. So here this session probably will be more of your revision session. Earlier, before this, in the second term, we did a lot of revision of the English poetries as well as English stories. So now we will be doing a detailed revision of all the scenes of Shakespeare, which we have not done as revision as yet. So we will be doing it. You can even refer to the playlist that I have in the YouTube regarding this for the proper explanation. But here we are doing, for a general help for everyone, the revision of all the scenes of Shakespeare, Act 1 to Act 4, all of them. So we will quickly get down with the revision session from Act 1, Scene 1. I hope you have your, whenever you are doing these sessions, be ready with your Shakespeare book, and then we will begin with the explanation in a revision. So it is not a very detailed explanation, but in gist I'll like to explain you the important parts of each and every scene. So here we begin with Act 1, Scene 1. When we are doing it in revision, first of all, it is very important for you to understand this. I have been telling it since from the beginning of the explanation of Shakespeare, that Act 1, Scene 1, 2 and 3, they are basically your introductions to the male protagonist, female protagonists, as well as the main lead male and then the main lead female in both the first two scenes. And then in Act 1, Scene 3, we are introduced to the main villain of the play, and that is Shylock. So here we see in the first scene, it is given the explanation of Antonio, who is in conversation with his friends Salarino and Salanio. Now Antonio is basically, we are shown that he is very troubled. He says he doesn't know why he is troubled. This is basically an you can say idea, a simple symbolic way Shakespeare is trying to tell his readers that there is something bad going to happen to Antonio, maybe regarding the ship or their particular journey coming back, or something regarding to the investments and the ventures of Antonio. Though it has not happened as yet, but some way or the other Antonio can feel that intuition that something bad is going to happen, and that is why he is not very happy over here, although he himself says that he does not know the reason for his sadness, and he is still yet to learn more why of the thing which is making him want it, or in a very haphazard manner he is totally lost in his, wrapped in his thoughts, and he doesn't know what he's thinking about, what he's worried about, but he wants to find out about that particular reason. Here we are shown that his friends Salarino, Salanio, even the others also, they are very considerate of him and they are always there to help him out. Salarino and Salanio, we have seen oftentimes they have been there to help Antonio. Even when Bassanio was gone to Belmont to be a suitor for Portia, at that time we saw that Salarino and Salanio were in conversation, and they said that they saw Antonio being sad because he just gave bid farewell to his friend Bassanio, and he was very heavy hearted at that time because he lives in this world only for the sake of Bassanio. That is what they said. So here we can say in that way only Salarino and Salanio, even at this moment when they see Antonio in such a you can say condition which is not they cannot understand, and he cannot explain why he is like that, at that time also they come over there to cheer him up, or rather to share his sorrow. And then at that time Antonio tells him that it is he himself doesn't know the reason. So Salarino and Salanio, they both come to their own conclusions, they draw their own conclusions, that it is probably because Antonio is thinking about his ship, his argosies, and he's more worried about his ventures on the ocean, and then he's even worried about the dangers and the risk these ship voyages have, maybe of the rocks and of the water and strong winds. They give the comparisons of breathing on a soup bowl or on a supper bowl, so that to blow it cool. At that time it will remind of the strong winds. Then the edifice or the church buildings of rocks, they are going to remind them of the big strong rocks and the things that can be found on the oceans, which can be the cause of damage to the ship. Besides that, other such reasons like the sand, shallow sand will remind them of shallow seabeds. So all these things will make them angry, and that is sorry, not angry, will make them worried, and that is why they say that Antonio also probably might be thinking about these things only, because if they had been there in Antonio's place, one of them said he would have been plucking the leaves and blowing it in the air to find the direction of the wind, and then checking it in the map where the ship might be and what will be the effect of those winds over there. All those things they say just to understand that what probably might be the cause for Antonio's sadness. But Antonio rejects that. He you can say negates all these points, and then they even come to the conclusion that it is only because he's in love, but he also refuses that. And then it is said that it is by the Janus, or the god who is the god of doors. It is, he has two different faces, one smiling and the other frowning, and that is why nature has also made two different kind of people. One who always keep on laughing, even on the silliest things where nobody would laugh, they would laugh, like a parrot laughs, squeals, shouts at the sound of a bagpiper. But on the other hand, there is the other category of men who will never smile, even if the nester might say, he was a general, so even he might say that the joke is laughable. Even at that time, they would not show their particular teeth in the way of smile. So these are the people, those who are always sad, sullen and morose, and that is how people are classified by Salarino. So at that time, and they all are basically drawing various conclusions, and then even they are talking about the sadness and the different types of men in the nature. At that very moment, Salarino and Salanio are there to be with Antonio all the time till he doesn't cheer up, or they lighten his mood. But at that very moment, there arrives other friends of Antonio, Salarino and Salanio, and these other friends are Graciano, Lorenzo. Along with them is the most important, Bassanio. Now the reason behind saying most important as Bassanio, because we are shown that all these other friends are not that important, or they are not considered as that important as Bassanio is considered important for Antonio. Because even Salarino and Salanio, when they look at him, they say, now we are better friends are here, so we should be leaving. And even the same comment is given by Lorenzo and Graciano later onwards to Bassanio, that now you are with Antonio, so we should leave. You don't that is probably a symbol that now you don't need us, so that is why we'll leave, and tell us when we should meet in the evening at the supper time. So that is how they decide that they're meeting at the supper time or after that, and they leave Bassanio and Antonio together so that they can have their conversation. So we can say that everybody understands that Bassanio is very important for Antonio, and Antonio is very important for Bassanio, and that is why they all leave them when they are together. So here we see Bassanio has come. At this time we do see a particular long conversation of Lorenzo, Graciano. Lorenzo doesn't speak much, but Graciano speaks a lot when he sees the condition of Antonio, and at that time he gives a long information about how people make their faces very still just to grab the attention of the others, and they should not be like that, thinking deeply about things and being sad, and even in their young juvenile age they are just pretending to be the statues of white stone of their own grandfather. That means being pale and white and thinking like an old person about things which they should not be doing right now. They should be more active and energetic, rather being thinking and sulking and being sullen about various things. So after that he gives a proper information and his expression about various people, those who are considered to be very important and intelligent only because they keep quiet and they pretend that a serious visage, and that is why they are thought to be of extreme knowledge and very learned people. But when they open their mouth, then the people, those who hear them, they curse them and they are damned because of for cursing the other brethren. So that is why he says, you should also not take this silence or not pretense of sadness to grab attention, but rather you should speak, because speaking is good on a tongue which is alive rather than on a dead skin, like a dead tongue of an ox, which is given over there later by Graciano, a description. Even at that, Antonio makes, does that make any sense? And Bassanio says, oh, Shylock, Graciano speaks a lot and it is mostly nonsense. It is like two bundles of chaff, and there you have to find two small thin grains. When you find them out after a lot of you can say effort, then you finally realize that they were not worth it. So that is the description is given for Gratiano, that he talks a lot and mostly all nonsense, or which makes no particular sense to them. But when Graciano and Lorenzo leave, at that time Antonio, Bassanio talk to each other, and Bassanio over here, he is basically in a way kind of beating around the bush, rather giving an explanation that, oh, he usually makes, he is very, you can say, obliged to Antonio for all the things, for his love, for his manners, for his money, and for all the help that he has done. And he says, I have a plan to come out of my particular debts, because of my lavish lifestyle I have got into debt, and because of that I have come with a plan and I require your help. So Antonio is quite sad that he made so much of, you can say, a pretense of, or he just may entirely beat it, he kept on beating around the bush, not coming directly to the point. Rather, he was somewhere doubting Antonio's willingness to help him. So he said, you should have straight away come to me and should have ordered me rather than requesting me, and I would have done anything and everything that is possible and I'm capable of to help you out. Tell me, what is the plan? So Bassanio tells Antonio that it is that he will be using the money and whichever Antonio will give him, to find out how he has spent the money earlier given to him, which he has obviously lost, and he would try to recover it. But even if he is not able to recover it, he will keep a very strict watch on the expenditure this time, and he would recover the money which is now given to him. That was a his childhood, you can say, method which he used to do to find an arrow, that whenever he used to lost an arrow, he used to take a similar arrow, and in the same direction with same force he used to throw it, and then when he used to shoot it, then at that time he would often find both the arrows. So that is how he is using the same method here, that he will be using the same amount of money, spending it in a similar way, but having a clear watch on it, and then through that he will be able to recover the earlier spent money also. Or moreover, if not, then he will be able to have a proper account of the money this time, and he will be giving it back, and for the rest earlier amount he will always remain indebted and glad to obliged to Antonio. After this, Antonio did ask him about Portia, that the lady you were talking about, that you have loved and you want to be a suitor for her. So at that time, Bassanio tells Antonio about Portia and how beautiful and what are all the virtues of Portia are, and how people are coming over there from different places. They are like crossing the wilderness, the deserts, the high oceans, as if they are just common ways, pathways, and the streams and brooks and small bushes they are crossing across. And these people are coming from different corners of the world. They are not unaware of Portia's beauty and worth. They have come over there to be suitors, and he says, I somewhere feel that if I'll be there, I'll probably one of the person who might be lucky this time, because somewhere or the other I have this inner gut feeling that I will not lose her, or I will not lose Portia as in the pursuit or in the lottery system, whichever is devised by her father. Because we know later onwards there is a particular device or lottery system which has been made by her father, Portia's father, for choosing a husband for her. So he says that I feel that I'll be lucky over there. There might be many Jasons coming for the adventure, but I will be the real Jason getting the golden fleece. Or golden fleece is often over here, it is related to the golden hair of Portia. It has been termed many a times for Portia's golden hair, or the you can say golden fox of Portia. So that is how we are informed about Bassanio and Antonio's relationship. Even given a hint of something bad is going to happen to Antonio, and then later onwards we do see that Bassanio's love for Portia and his eagerness to be a suitor for Portia is also shown in this particular scene. So with this we come to the end of Act 1, Scene 1. So with this, we come to the end of the explanation also. I hope you've understood it. We will be doing a lot of question answers regarding it, but you also keep on turning on to various, you can say, sample papers, test papers, or even your workbooks. Keep doing the questions which you have not done related to the scene, and any queries you can ask me in the WhatsApp or any other particular manner, and we will discuss that in the coming up sessions. So with this, we come to the end of this particular module. Have a great day.